Now let's change tack a little bit and talk about New World Order coin, the World Economic Forum coin, the Orwell coin that has just been released by the founder of OpenAI, Sam Altman. He's also got a crypto coin, and it's called Worldcoin. And they've got this sweet little orb thing that they scan your eye with. And if you scan your eye, they give you some sweet tokens. Somewhere, wherever Orwell's buried, he's rolling over at his grave, isn't he? Just going like, I warned you guys about this. Why did nobody read the books? Come on. But look, digital IDs are coming, and how we do our digital IDs is going to really be important. Because look, OpenAI and ChatGPT, ChatGPT has already shown itself to have strong political biases built into the machine. If we think about the potential for, WorldCoin and its iris scanning and the ability to really catalog all the people in the world, which of course they're already doing in a lot of ways. Let's be real about that. But it seems just such an Orwellian project. Now, look, it's very easy to say, hey, look, this is definitely World Economic Forum, Klaus Schwab kind of stuff right here. And look, a lot of people, at least in the crypto community, and I imagine if we ask outside of the crypto community, if you say, hey, can I have $50 to scan your eye? Basically, everybody and their mom would line up to give us that scan, unfortunately. But at least in the crypto community, 48% of people saying, no, it's an invasion of privacy. I'm not going to do it. Only 15% saying, yeah, I like money. Scan my eye, give me the cash. Let's do it. Which is fair. Everybody's allowed to make their own decision when it comes to this kind of stuff. And of course, 37% of people saying, hey, Orwell tried to warn us and we didn't listen. We didn't listen. Or we did listen, but unfortunately, we did listen. And the smart people, you guys listening to this, listen and went, wow, that's a big warning. We should be afraid of big tech tyranny. And then big tech and big government all got together and went, oh, this is like a handbook on how to dominate society and screw people over. It's not the message that 1984 was trying to send out, politicians. Come on. I like Raoul Pal's thoughts on this here as well. He said on WorldCoin, no view on the token, but 60% of the people on here already use Apple Face ID. 90% gave all your private data to Google and Meta. He's absolutely right. And you gave it to them for free. At least WorldCoin's going to give you some money for your iris scan. These other guys just took your data and sold it off to third parties. And of course, keep your passwords and email addresses and phone numbers and all that stuff on crappy centralized data banks that get hacked all the time, and all your data gets leaked onto the dark web. And it's a good time, isn't it? It's a good time. Raul says you also have a passport, global entry, credit card, mobile phone. Everything's captured on CCTV all the time. You have medical records, etc. All of that being centralized. It says also India rolled out retina and fingerprint scans for payments a few years ago, and it's pretty incredible. You can literally buy a pint of milk with just a fingerprint, no phone, no wallet, no cash. It is possible right now in India, which is pretty cool. We definitely need digital ID for humans urgently, and WorldCoin is just one answer. There'll be many, but it is vital. The next step is fully decentralized versions with ZK-proof technology. I think that privacy technology becomes absolutely critical. Absolutely critical. But WorldChain is another example of how blockchain changes everything and how it gets to 1 billion people. And he's right. He's right. Look, the reality is that a lot of people already give out a lot of information to a lot of tech companies, and basically everything is already known about you. So for the niche of privacy enthusiasts who only own Monero and don't want to have their iris scanned, it's a tricky proposition because anytime you go through an airport, they scan your iris, don't they? Yeah, they take the face scans. They take the pictures. They know who you are. It's hard to escape this technological tyranny that we have built for ourselves around the world. And the world governments do want to know where you are, what you're doing, who you're hanging out with, what you're saying on the internet, where you're spending your money. It's all part of the same stuff. It's all part of the same stuff. But much like BlackRock coming into crypto, the fringe benefit of something like WorldCoin, if it does get adopted, if it does take off, is that, hey, at least it gets a bunch of people in the blockchain. And they'll come in and they'll get their 50 free bucks of WorldCoin and then hopefully dump it and buy Bitcoin. That'd be great. That'd be great. Here for that. I'm here for that. That'd be fantastic, I guess. The reality is, though, we do need digital IDs, but we need digital IDs that are not going to basically put digital slavery onto everybody. We need digital IDs that are protected with technological privacy features. We need digital IDs that are really decentralized and not in the hands of governments. So, is WorldCoin the answer to that? I don't know. I don't know enough about WorldCoin to say if it is or not. But certainly, these technological advances will hopefully push us in the right direction. Hopefully, enough people make their opinions known that, hey, I'm all about having a digital ID, but I don't want to sign up for digital slavery. Slavery on the blockchain. That's the real innovation, guys. Ay, 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 ay. As Kyle points out here, let's experiment. Participate if you want. Don't participate if you don't want. That's responding to Chris Berniski's tweet that not informed enough to have an opinion on all the nuances of WorldCoin, but I will say that's a new at-scale experiment being run on blockchain systems, part of a new product cycle that will become even more clear in 2024 and 2025. And he's right. And he's right. We will see a lot of new iterations of different technologies coming out on top of blockchains. And really, you do need a blockchain to have something like WorldCoin on. You need a privacy-preserving blockchain. You need the kind of blockchain technology that allows for you to have complete privacy and control over your data, but allow for verifiable authenticity. So I give the beer example. You want to be able to walk into a bar and have the blockchain prove that you are you and you are 21 without needing to hand your driver's license over to the bartender who might be a creep and who remembers your name and address and stalks you on Facebook later, or looks at if you have an address on your driver's license, shows up at your house at 2 a.m. I mean, not saying that's happened to me, but probably to somebody somewhere, right? Those are the kind of privacy concerns you have, though. Whereas with the blockchain, it would just, you come in, scans your eyeball or your fingerprint or whatever, and it just says, this person is who they say they are, and they are of the legal age to drink. Interesting. These are the kind of technological advances that are going to be a positive thing, but it's so easy to get it wrong. It's so easy to get it wrong. And we know everything we know about the last few years in human society and what governments and major corporations have done. I don't trust them. You shouldn't either. Now, before we talk about CBDCs, the pinnacle of slave money, just a quick reminder, if you're not signed up to the Wealth Mastery newsletter yet, check it out. It is the best newsletter in crypto. Every single issue, jam-packed, full of value. We talk about altcoins. We talk about DeFi. We talk about airdrops. And some of these airdrops have made some serious money, folks. So check it out. It is free 3 times a week to your inbox. Link in the description where you can join over 75,000 weekly readers of the Wealth Mastery Investor Report. So check it out. Now, let's talk about CBDCs, the ultimate form of slave money. And they are coming, and there's nothing you can do about it. CBDCs are scary, and basically every country is doing them. Now, this is about Russia. Putin signs the digital ruble bill into law, priming the Russian CBDC for launch. If you don't live in Russia, you probably don't care. But it's coming everywhere. It's coming everywhere. Coming to a country near you soon. The Federal Reserve has launched a payment system called FedNow. Lets you send money in seconds. It's not a CBDC, by the way, but it is setting the framework for a CBDC. Federal Reserve of San Francisco now hiring a crypto architect for a CBDC project. We know the Federal Reserve has been working on CBDC for a while. We know it's going to be coming. 100%. 100%. Right now, almost half the world's countries are working on a CBDC release or have already released a CBDC or are about to release a CBDC. China's already had a CBDC for a year, something like that. And it's done a lot of volume already, and it's just getting bigger all the time. CBDCs are here to stay, unfortunately. Yeah. You know, the reality of CBDCs and why we're talking about them in the same breath that we're talking about WorldCoin, because it's all part of the same Orwellian dystopian future that awaits us if we don't pursue better alternatives. Because if we leave everything up to the governments and the corporations, this is where we're going to end up. Not in a pretty place. It's already not a pretty place technologically. We can make it better. We have the technological tools to make it better, but then instead of trying to build a better civilization for humanity, we all get distracted by hamster racing. That was the flavor du jour of crypto in the last week or so. Don't know if you blinked, you missed that pump and dump frenzy, but people were exploiting poor hamsters for racing. Anyway, Satoshi knew, which is why Satoshi built Bitcoin. And Bitcoin remains the strongest money in the world. The censorship resistance alone, you can send money to anyone, anywhere. Doesn't matter their politics, doesn't matter their gender, it doesn't matter their religion, doesn't matter what country they happen to live in. You can send or receive Bitcoin. Powerful stuff in a world of so much financial control, where the elites love shutting people's bank accounts down, love telling you how much money you can or cannot send out of the country. It's crazy stuff. But CBDCs are here, and they're only going to get bigger. CBDCs mean no privacy for you. I remember the head of the Bank of International Settlements? I think it was him who was talking the other day about $100 bill. He's like, this is a $100 bill. And this is a real problem because we can't trace this $100 bill. So when somebody buys something, uses this $100 bill, we don't know what they bought. Yeah, and that's okay, government. You don't need to know every time that I buy whatever, man. If I'm buying a bottle of water or a corn magazine or some cigarettes or a bottle of vodka or a stuffed animal, it's none of your damn business. But they want to make it their business. They want to make it their business. And CBDCs will mean absolutely no privacy. Now, look, person to person, like if I send you $20 of CBDCs, you're not going to see what I have sitting in my CBDC account. Unlike with crypto, if I send you $20 worth of Ethereum, you can look at my Ethereum address and go, ooh, what's Lark got in there? But the government will know. Oh, the government's going to know. You don't think the government's going to know? Oh, the government's going to know. Also need more censorship because CBDCs will have an on and off switch. You know, like USDC and USDT, they have an on and off switch. Now, they don't really use them outside of cases of like hackers and stuff like this who've stolen money, and they'll freeze those funds. But this will allow the government to basically censor anyone anytime. Oh, we saw what you said on Twitter yesterday. Your CBDCs are now locked for 3 days. We can't have you spreading that kind of disinformation. Oh, you questioning the current medical response to a certain pandemic? Well, you know, you're not allowed to question that. So we're gonna turn your money off for 3 days. This is the power of CBDCs, and it's scary stuff. And it's a lot more quicker and more effective than them trying to shut your bank account down or something like this. They can just turn a switch off. It'll all be automated by AI probably. And they'll just monitor what you say online, monitor what you say in the privacy of your own home because the apps on your phone are listening to you. You ever notice how you talk about something with your friend and then you get online later and you see an ad pop up for that thing that you were talking about a half hour before? Yeah, it's because your phone's listening to you. This is going to be the same thing. CBDCs will take it to the next level. And if you don't think that's realistic or going to happen, let me introduce you to China and their social credit system, because that is exactly what is happening. Behavior correction, making sure that you don't do certain things or you do certain things. You'll get more points, better interest rates, better house mortgage rates if you conform. If you are doing certain antisocial things like saying the wrong things online, or maybe you're partying a little bit too much at the weekend with your buddies or whatever it might be, your score is going to go down a little bit. And of course, probably one of the scariest things is the expiry date of money, because when you have a $100 bill, as long as a bug doesn't eat it or you don't burn it or lose it, you got $100. And a $100 bill from 10 years ago is still worth $100. Well, you know, it doesn't have the same purchasing power, but it's still worth the $100. You can still spend it. With CBDCs, they can do something like, hey, you have 90 days to spend your money, after which it just becomes invalid and it gets returned to the state and we spend it. So you have 90 days to spend your money. So get out there and spend. Now, that's going to, of course, mean you can put money into stocks or bonds or stuff like that. And maybe this will be part of the response to the failing US dollar and the $33 trillion in debt. Hey, just make people's money expire. And then they have to invest it back in government bonds, which are going to go to zero eventually, and invest it back into the stock market and whatever else it might be. And of course, they're going to say all this stuff is for your security. We can't have criminals using dollars and us not knowing where that $100 bill went. And of course, it's for convenience. Well, everybody's gonna be using CBDCs. It's about financial inclusion for the most downtrodden in society. All this stuff. But we know these people are liars. We cannot trust them on CBDCs. We can't trust them on digital IDs either, unfortunately. And I don't trust Sam Altman and Worldcoin personally. Maybe I'll be proven wrong about that. Maybe Worldcoin is going to be the digital ID solution that is preserving privacy and does all the great things we want it to. But considering how ChatGPT already has a lot of political censorship, I'm not going to hold my breath on that.